So my name is Zeke Janicello. I had a car detailing business that I operated for a little bit over 8 years. I started it when I was 14 years old. Whole sorts of things. So cars have always been my passion from a young age. I loved just being around cars, even like non-exciting cars, like my mom's Honda Pilot. I would be around it. Always was like cleaning it, fascinated with it, and I would often just wash my parents' cars just so I could mess with them, like see the insides, look at the engine, also just like get to move the car in the driveway and feel like an adult because I was 14. I didn't even have like my learner's permit. So that was like kind of the initial intrigue. And then one of my neighbors came to me. He's like, your parents' cars are always immaculate. Would you clean mine? And so that may be what like kind of spurred it on. I was also working at Chick-fil-A at the time. So I had that job, and I was seeing that school when I was in high school was starting to really ramp up. I wanted to run cross country, be on top of my academics and like work and kind of have an income because I wanted to save up money to get a cool car when I was 16. I knew all those couldn't fit in together. Maybe my grades were going to suffer or uh, other things like involved. I wouldn't sleep at all. And so eventually it got to the point where I was cleaning my neighbors' cars on like every other week. And then I put some flyers out in my mom's office. She worked in a insurance office in Burlington, North Carolina. And all those brokers that are there, I didn't realize like salespeople want to have clean cars like every week. And if you do a good job, they'll trust you. And they really like this kind of service aspect, especially if it's on demand, you go to them kind of deal. So that's kind of how it slowly built. I quit my job at Chick-fil-A, and I guess the rest is kind of history. First, what was the most difficult part, because it wasn't until my senior year of high school that the business really ramped up to the point where I was having like, I could book as much business as I wanted based on like my time schedule and when I could get extra people that I would trust to help me as well. But initially, building your credibility when you don't have credibility in the car detailing business is pretty substantial. I mean, with each car you learn a little bit different. Like maybe Volkswagens have some very like difficult carpet that really holds on to like the dirt and stuff, that's like those little things. So like kind of building up my acumen on how to properly detail cars and also establish myself as someone that can be trusted and reliable and is really good with cars, like a kind of trusted advisor. And then once you get those first few, there's this one person in particular, I'm not gonna mention their name, that I got, and he just sent referrals everywhere. Yeah, I would have people call me and be like, yeah, I was just talking to such and such. He said you absolutely did a great job with his Audi. I have 6 cars I would love for you to clean. And it's that kind of, at least when you're on the service level, the referral basis. For me personally too, it maybe happened quicker than others because I love cars. And so they would view me as a trusted advisor. Like I'll remember things. Like I remember people by the cars that they drive. Oftentimes, like if I know that, I won't know their last name, but it'd be like, oh, 2010 Nissan Altima. Like, do you still drive that kind of deal? And so I could remember, like, hey, Gordy, since you last brought, or whomever, since you last brought this car to me, there's a scratch right here, and this tire probably needs to be replaced. And that, like, those kind of things that you don't necessarily get if you're just taking your car through like a Auto Bell or one of those places with the free vacuums. That yeah, I would say credibility and just building up that detailing acumen, especially when you're super young. Like, why would you give a 14-year-old a car that costs more than like my college education, stuff like that, or even like half? It's kind of crazy. Like, I probably, as much as I love entrepreneurship now, would be very hesitant as a car person to give my car to some kid, right? And they were like really nice cars. So that initial credibility was just key. And if I would have met a few different people in my life that like kind of believed in me and gave me that initial like, yeah, I'll let you do one car, see how you do it. Like there's this one doctor who gave me this farm truck to clean that has just been sitting out there for years. He was just so impressed with what I did, and come to find out he had 8 cars that he owned personally, like because he had a bunch of kids and stuff, and it builds up from that way. And then he goes and I grew up in a small town in North Carolina too. It'd be different if I was starting this in like Raleigh, North Carolina, or somewhere where word doesn't spread as quickly. I don't know, but yeah, it worked for me.